Well, just when the sun was shining and the flowers were blooming and my body was thawing out, winter has decided to come back with force. We're having a decent winter storm here, plenty of wind, a little bit of snow, and lots of cold. I'm freezing. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to eat lots of soup, I am going to work on a summertime project, and I am gonna make anybody who's willing watch me do it. So I was going through my fabric stash the other day and I came across this beauty. Now, I've had this for so long, I can't even remember where I got it or what it is. But clearly it is some kind of hand-batiked, I think that is the term. Hand-batiked, beautiful, ornate, intricate pattern that I believe was the yoke of a shirt. A very large shirt. But what I'm gonna do is I am going to first wash this fabric just to make sure that it has a level of washability, because there's no sense in me making a garment out of it if I can't wash it. Secondly, after the washing process is successful, I'm gonna go ahead and make this a yoke on my own shirt. I just think this is so beautiful and gorgeous, and I can't wait to highlight it in a shirt of my own. Oh, and my nose is running. But that's the winter. That's what happens in the winter. Okay, let's take stock and let's eat soup. The fabric has been really challenging to work with. I mentioned how it was batiked, if that's the term. Still haven't looked that up, but I think it's right, that it's kind of hand-batiked, beautiful fabric. But I didn't mention that it was also appliqued and or quilted, and it's really bumpy. It's really thick in places. I've almost broken a needle a few times. It kind of reminded me of my childhood. I had this flashback to when I was little, and I used to ride around in the back of my mom's pickup truck, and the street we lived on had a lot of potholes, and so that's what I pictured. That's what it feels like sewing this fabric, and it's no exaggeration. The machine is making all sorts of grunts and groans and decides to stop, and strings break, and it gets pretty hairy. That made me concerned about being able to have nice flat seams, and so far, despite the thickness, I feel like I'm able to kind of lay the seams in a crisp, mildly graceful way. Not as crisp as I would like, but I think it's totally doable. Now, the other fabric that I chose, I was on the fence about which fabric to use for the bottom portion. Clearly we know what the yoke is, and I ended up going with just a classic cream color linen. I feel like For this piece in particular, I want the yoke to be the star. I want that fabric that I'm trying to highlight to be where your eye gravitates towards. Sewing with this particular linen has pretty much been as challenging as the main fabric. I think it's because I ruined it. I purchased this linen from where I usually get all of my linen. It's dead stock. I think it's fabricmarket.com or something like that. I'll put the link below like I always do. But I believe for whatever reason, this linen was dry clean only, and that does not resonate with me. I do not dry clean things. So I went ahead and I washed it on gentle, and it turned completely wrinkly, and the texture is kind of coarse and uncomfortable as well. But sewing it and getting these tucks or pleats or whatever they're called has been challenging for them to be uniform and crisp and nice. I'm not loving the project. I had something in my mind. I had a vision like I always do. The outcome is not meeting my expectations. That's often the case. And usually what happens is by the end, I kind of relinquish control and allow the project to take on a new life, and it kind of converts me from a non-believer to a believer. So I would say 9 times out of 10, even though I have lots of doubts along the way, I'm usually in some way pleased with the final product. I hope that that's the case with this shirt, but we're not gonna know until we're there. So see you soon in the reveal. Just so you know the score, Winter 1, me 0. The reveal was so cold to film. I was shaking. I think you can see goosebumps on my arms. It's definitely still winter. Even though I was trying to make it summer, I kind of feel guilty talking smack on winter because it's actually my favorite season. My other favorite seasons are fall, spring, and summer, but I really do like winter. I love snow, I love fires, I love snuggly things, and I love baking. So, you know, winter's perfect. But at this point, I'm just ready to say goodbye for now, and I want the sun and I want the brightness, and I just want to feel warm. I was definitely trying to give in to just how cold I was during the reveal, just kind of embracing the freezing winds, but I couldn't do it. I mean, clearly I did it, but it didn't feel good. I wanted it to feel good as well. So there's that. And then the main thing is that I hate the shirt, which is really kind of sad. I think I already said that usually I always question whether or not a project is coming together, and by the end it usually does, but this shirt was a nightmare. Every aspect of the project was challenging. The size of the fabric, the feeling of the fabric. Even worse than dealing with that was the white linen that I chose for the bottom part of the shirt. It lays so awkward. I actually had a raw hem at the bottom and it was laying okay, and then the second I turned that under and stitched it, it just kind of encircled me me, almost like there was a wire in it. It doesn't lay nice. It doesn't feel very comfortable. I'm almost thinking that I might just detach the bottom and just have some weird yoke accessory that I can kind of finish off the raw edges and just throw it over a shirt, because I think it's really pretty and I do still love that fabric. Maybe I can figure out a way to salvage it. I think my daughter did an amazing job filming. We were both just shaking and chattering, and her filming skills just keep getting better and better. She's impressing me so much. She's only 11 and I feel like she is my equal and my partner, and I don't feel like I could do this without her. So I just wanted to let you know who is doing all of the filming for the most part. It's her, and I love working with her so much, and I love having a business partner. We always get excited about planning the different reveals. They're our favorite thing to do. If you've made it to the end of the video, I'm sorry that the ending was a bit of a bummer, but hopefully you enjoyed parts of it, if not all of it. And let me put my soup down because I am going to. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you enjoyed the video, if you could like and subscribe, it means the world to me. Hopefully my next project will run a little more smoothly, and I will see you then. Bye!